War rages across the mortal realms. New alliances are formed while others lie shattered, and the dominant powers ever seek their next conquest. As these two powerful forces prepare to clash, only one will rise victorious when the dust settles. While this and countless other battles rage on, one fact is becoming clear. The season of war has begun. This video is brought to you by the support of our channel members and the FLGS Partners, Warfire Minis, and X-Planet. Looking for a painting commission? Check out artwstudio.com.
Hello and welcome to Season of War! Tonight we're excited to bring you another game of Age of Sigmar. Ridge, playing the slaves again.
The big boys here.
Yes, Khaine is out to play this time. And to match up against him, our premium members chose for me to play the Daughters of Khaine. Gotta bring Big Mama Marathi. So let's see if we can tie him up and annoy him a little bit. Two big centerpieces, so it'll be fun to see these guys go head to head.
Yep, and I'm sure they will. They're both front of the board, center, 11 off the back.
Yeah, exactly. Raring to go. And talking about our premium members, you may know that we've recently kind of revamped our membership program on YouTube, added a couple new tiers. There's a ton of extra content and different options if you want to join the membership now. Yep. Discord, extra battle reports, that's all still there. Plus, with our second tier, you now get access to a condensed version of every battle report we play. So they're already pretty short at 30 to 50 minutes on average.
Yep.
Don't have that much time. The condensed versions are 15 to 20 minutes. So that's a great way to get, consume the content if you're short on time.
It's the quick, just overview of everything. It is nice to see,
As well as you get the battle breakdowns of kind of more in-depth talking about looking at the different situations and plays and just
decision making.
Exactly. Depth that we can't go into in a normal battle report just for time's sake.
Yep.
But all that said, thank you guys whether you are able to support through the membership or not. Either way, we're happy to have you guys here. And let's look at this match. Ridge, we're playing Prize of Gala tonight, if you want to go through it for us.
Yeah, this is a fan favorite for sure. So this one
popular.
They get activated as the game goes on. So whoever goes second in the round activates one of the objectives. Has to be one of the middle ones when the first one becomes active. And then as they go on, by the end of the game, all 5 will be active. So it's interesting. You really want to go second a lot because then you activate, but then you're not going the turn, right? So
you have to dictate.
Yeah, it's the fun. And this one's out in a lot of packs, so it's a cool one.
Definitely interesting. And then I'll jump in and take you guys through my list first.
Cool. A
lot of the same staples that we're used to in Daughters of Khaine on the channel. Again, still expanding this army, but a couple different tweaks just to try out some different things. Notably, I'm running the sub-faction of Keltnar. So this is giving my whole army retreat and charge.
Yeah.
Pretty spicy, especially with Marathi. Keeps her from getting tied up too long with things she doesn't want to be. So obviously, starting off with Marathi and the Shadow Queen, two big staples, as we mentioned. I do also have the Melusai Iron Scale, who is my general. I have a different trait on her today, not the rally. The regular amazing one. But it's instead a once per game ability to give +1 attack to Melusai units wholly within 12. So nice. Just in combat. In combat, yes. You can again make those combat snakes even scarier. There's potentially +2 to attack, 5 attacks each. Could be spicy. Nice. So I do have a unit of 10 combat snakes as well as a smaller unit of 5. And then the dreaded 15 bow snakes, as always. The worst. Yeah. Rounding things out then, I do have a unit of Canary Life Takers? Life Takers? Yeah. Life Takers. So the combat one, so a unit of 10 here. They can be pretty smashy on their own, especially if you get some buffs up on them, which is super scary, as well as a speedy threat. So definitely something you'll have to keep an eye out for. But that rounds out my Daughters of Khaine list, putting me pretty low on points, and I was a 1-drop here. Yes, which we're gonna find out, which this list very much wants to be a 1-drop as well. So I am playing Host of the Ever-Chosen 6th Circle. I'm channeling my inner Phil Marshall, so I know he plays this a lot, so it's
pretty much similar to what you see when most people run this type of list.
But when you have Archaon.
When you have Archaon, and so the Archaon, the Sorcerer Lord, and the Chaos Lord for the fight twice. The Sorcerer Lord is the General, Master Magic, Arcane Tome, everyone's favorite combo. And then he has Mask of Darkness. Archaon has Call to Glory. And then it's 2 units of 3 Varangard, because they get +1 damage on the charge. A unit of Untamed Beasts, a unit of Iron Golems, and then the Kitty Cat for the minus Bravery with Archaon's minus Bravery as well, and Horrorghast as an endless spell.
Yeah. We saw the Kitty Cat actually was almost an MVP in our last Slaves game on the channel. It was a premium member 1, so that was actually a really good game.
It was insane.
Definitely one to check out if you haven't seen it already. But hopefully that Kitty Cat isn't quite as annoying today.
No, we'll see. The fight lasts it comes up as well too. So and it's pretty low points, so it's 1955, so pretty good Triumph bid, and then all in the 1 drop, like you said. So very important, this list. You can roll the cheater die to see who the turn order. So you really want to be on the bottom of the turn order. But obviously Jordan won. Obviously Jordan won. But I wanted to play the army that needs to go.
We were both 1 drops. I won the roll off. Notably also, 1955 is pretty good for a Triumph bid.
Yes.
I was at 1935, so I did the Triumph. Great for, with elves, the low battle shock is always a concern. So.
Yes, that's really good, especially with Horrorghast.
Oh, you have Horrorghast as well.
Okay. To bravery.
So, that's in here, and I do have choice. And because you have the potential to know who goes next or first at the start of the next battle round, Ridge, I got to give you first here. Avoid the double as much as possible, and we'll go into Slaves to Darkness, turn 1.
Sounds good.
Before the battle begins, the Untamed Beasts advance using Unleash the Beast, and the right objective is activated. As the Ever-Chosen stares down the upstart god Morathi, the Slaves to Darkness battle tactic is against the odds. Archaon and the Melusai Ironscale both use heroic leadership. Archaon uses the Dark Prophecy to learn the initiative order, then activates the Eye of Shirian. The Sorcerer casts Mystic Shield and Demonic Power and grants Oracular Visions, all to Archaon. Archaon uses Will of the Ever-Chosen on the Blood Sisters and casts Call to Glory and Arcane Bolt. The Shadow Queen redeploys, moving 2 inches forward. The Chaos Lord uses At the Double to keep up with Archaon. The Shadow Queen unleashes Hell upon Archaon as he charges in, but deals no damage. Archaon and Morathi both fail to roar at each other, and the Blood Sisters use all-out defense. The Chaos Lord uses Spurred by the Gods on Archaon, who attacks and deals 11 damage to the snakes and 3 to Morathi. The Blood Sisters attack Archaon but deal no damage. With the second activation, Archaon finishes off the Blood Sisters. The Shadow Queen uses all-out attack and deals 3 damage to Archaon. As Archaon charges straight into the enemy, the Slaves to Darkness hold 1 objective and complete their battle tactic for 4 points.
All right, so back from Slaves, turn 1. Quite effective turn. Kind of had an idea what I was doing here. You did make a nice redeploy, but only rolled a 2.
Yeah.
So if you would have rolled like a big number there, like a 6.
A 4? A 4 I think a 4, even look at this, and I would have cut you off from piling into the combat snakes.
Yeah, so that would have been massive. And I might need to re-roll my 7-inch charge, but then again, that's
could
still
have failed
tough.
it, yeah.
Could have failed it, and then I'm not relying on the fighting twice, which you could have roared, which we saw on the pop-ups. Rolled the 2. We both rolled 2s for our roar, so no roaring happened. Yeah, so the one thing I could have done as I was fully activating and already kind of rolling dice is I could have put the first activation fully into the spear snakes, and then I could have possibly rinsed them and then piled into the bow snakes.
And that's why I actually went for the all-out defense on the combat snakes, just to ensure they lived through that first activation.
Which a couple of them did.
Now, a roar, and I still would have had half the unit alive, able to retreat and charge. Ah, that roar.
It would have been big,
A huge difference, right? Of me completely leaving Archaon alone, taking board presence, right? That's what you often want to do.
Yes.
It would have been able to do that greatly.
Yeah, you rolled a bunch of 6s on the arcane bolts, and for the arcane bolt, and then the activation.
So you had to activate put a bunch of attacks.
Had you roared me, I would have probably allocated differently than I did as well, right? Because then I probably would have put more into the spear snakes. But either way, so because it didn't happen, that's kind of what you saw happening.
And the mastery might not have taken her 3 in that case.
Exactly. So there could have been a lot of little things that could have happened if the roar went off.
But you got everything you wanted.
I did kill the 10 spears and did the 3. So that was end of the day what I needed. And then you did put 1 on me, actually. I'm on a 1-up save rerolling 1s with Archaon and Zinj right now, -1 to hit. So it's kind of ridiculous just tossing him in that. So I rolled 1 of the 2. So yeah, he took 3 damage, which is, 3 damage. So, and then you made this the point. You were thinking about making a proving ground, which in this one, going second is amazing because you can usually make one where there's not a galley vet and then make it the proving ground.
Yeah.
I have 2 battle line units, so if you made any of them,
there was no point. I kind of felt like I had the advantage in galley vets, so I decided not to make one.
Exactly, which is probably the right move. So yeah, so I'm going to score the 1, score more. I won't get 2, and then battle tactic for 2, which I just took against the odds.
Yeah.
So.
Cool. Yeah, sounds good. Putting me up against the wall, and we'll see if we can date ourselves out going into Daughters of Khaine, turn 1.
Sounds good.
Looking to recover their losses, the Daughters of Khaine battle tactic is Clash of Arms. The Iron Scale uses heroic leadership, which Archaon fails. Morathi fails to cast Mind Razor as well as the Withering. Get it together, Morathi. The Bloodstalkers use Worship Through Bloodshed and annihilate the Untamed Beasts. In the shooting phase, the Shadow Queen's gaze misses, but the Bloodstalkers kill the Sphinx. As her forces charges in, the Shadow Queen roars at the Varen Guard, and Archaon's Stomp deals 3 mortal wounds to Morathi. The Canary use all-out attack and deal 7 damage to the Iron Golems. Having already taken 3 wounds, the Shadow Queen fights next and deals 8 damage to the Varen Guard. Refusing to be pinned down, the Daughters of Khaine hold 1 objective and complete their battle tactic for 4 points.
Daughters of Khaine, turn 1. I have to start off by giving Ridge an apology. I was giving him shit for talking me out of just playing Xanthark High again. Not that you talked me out of it, but just we were talking about mixing it up.
Yeah, not playing the exact same moves.
And you were talking about how the mortals could be, skewing this matchup. And well, I would have got to do the mortals to Archaon, fight on death and all that stuff. Retreat and charge is pretty good too.
Very good.
Yeah, so Keltnar here allowed me to. I was if that had been bottom of the round, like your turn, it would have been it looked like it could have been game over.
Yeah.
we don't know how priority's going, or I don't know how
you
priority's
don't know how
going,
priority's going.
But here, I actually set up in a pretty great position, I feel like.
Yeah.
Like, pretty comfortable. Again, retreat and charge, allowing Morathi to go into the Verandar. I didn't do much damage. That's Morathi.
Yeah.
No buffs on her. Didn't get Mind Razor.
You've done what her best thing is. You've tied up all 3 of my hammers with one essential model, 2 models.
Because I did charge Little Morathi into Archaon, assuming I was going to take the 3 damage with the Shadow Queen.
Yeah. Oh, 100% with all of these activations.
Exactly. It locks down Archaon.
Yeah.
Keeps my Bloodstalkers safe.
Yeah.
And then I whipped in the Khaine with the battle tactic. I actually potentially could have made a charge on the running charge with my combat snakes, but I didn't get a big enough run with my Iron Scale to get them wholly within range to use the CP on that.
Yep.
Would have been able to potentially finish off that unit. They would have done more damage.
Yeah. I made a small error to just not playing this too much. Not a big error, but these guys need to be babysat. Like, I need to have them wholly within 18 of him.
To get the reroll ones to save.
For the reroll ones to save. Because a cut maybe a few more would have survived.
Yep, very well could have.
The big thing was what you did here, and clearing the screen in the hero phase. Like,
with the hero phase shoot, exactly.
Bow snakes, like, Doc is just so good. It's like hard to.
Yeah. And so I'm like, everything's tied up besides your
the only sorcerer lord that I piled away from.
Ridge, the big question is, who's going first next round?
Yeah. Well, as much as I would like to say it's me, I rolled a 3, as everyone already saw on camera.
At first I was like, well, you always play directly with the Archaon. That's just what you do in this build.
Well, I had,
So when you actually started screening out your Verandar, and I was looking at kind of your positioning, I was like, maybe felt like you weren't getting the turn.
The other easy note to notice, and you didn't catch it, but I don't even saying this is bad because then people will notice it against Archaon players, but this is good for learning. I did the Eye of Ed Sheeran. So that's the -1 to hit.
That's a huge.
Had I known I was going next, I would have obviously saved it.
Exactly, you don't use it, but on the potential double, you know you're not getting or they're getting the double.
I'm going to be playing this list for a bit, so there you go. If you ever seen anyone do that, that's like the easiest way to tell, which Jordan didn't notice, but now
I didn't think about it, but it's a great point.
Yeah.
And happy to be going into Daughters of Khaine turn 2.
Boo!
With the tides of the battle turning, the Daughters of Khaine battle tactic is against the odds. The center objective is activated and made the proving ground. The Shadow Queen uses their finest hour, and Archaon uses heroic leadership. Morathi casts Mind Razor on the Shadow Queen, but the withering is ignored by the Verandar. The Bloodstalkers use Worship Through Blood, shooting and killing the Sorcerer Lord. The Verandar use all out defense as the Bloodstalkers fire at them, dealing oh my god, can I just do that one again? Dealing 6 damage. After charging in, the Shadow Queen roars at the Verandar. Attacking first, the Shadow Queen uses all-out attack and slaughters the Verandar. The Iron Golems then deal 1 damage to the Blood Sisters, who kill them in response. Dealing damage, but not the devastating blow they hoped for, the Daughters of Khaine hold 1 objective and complete their battle tactic for 3 points.
Daughters of Khaine turn 2. Not feeling as good as I was hoping.
Had a lot of time to look at.
Yeah, the this building has been the bane of my existence. If not for this building, actually, it probably would not be close. You did a good job of positioning and behind it and all that, but between last turn my shooting, I only was able to really shoot the kitty. This turn I shot your Sork Lord and then pinged a couple wounds on the Varandard. But not being able to double shoot at the Varandard is the difference of you having a unit of Varandard left or not.
For sure, because Mortals is that's what kills them, yes.
I decided to bring out Morathi, charge the Shadow Queen, got her all buffed up, and put her in a position where I wasn't going to take the 3 damage back. What I wasn't sure of is if I piled in the Khaine into those Varandard, they're on a 2s rerolling 1s, and they have a good chance of bouncing off.
They'd be back to 3s rolling 1s, but still. I still could make all those saves.
Exactly. And then with that, a potential fight twice.
And then
could see that unit just dead. Nothing to show for it.
Which over here as well, I could have definitely, the second activation.
Piled in, got the 3 wounds on Morathi.
Your whole plan of not taking your wounds.
Exactly, yeah. So it, again, thinking of the pieces that I had, I was feeling great. But literally this building, like, just getting in the way of my shots.
Yes, something needs to bring the bow snakes back in.
100%, but like, I mean, out of arguably 4 shooting phases, I've had
You've killed the
1 into a good target.
Cat, Sork Lord. You did, I think.
Okay, I don't care about the Cat, Sork Lord, and the Beast. The Beasts were interesting, but like
the Untamed Beast was nice because then you were able to do plays. But you haven't killed any hammers or like big
exactly.
things,
like haven't actually done anything that's going to win me the game.
Yes.
And you outnumber me on this center objective by about 1 body, so. That's not great. Not loving life, but all that stuff.
This isn't great.
Not the happiest, but we'll see what happens. Lots of game left.
Yes.
We'll go into Slaves to Darkness, turn 2.
Let's do it.
Angered by the elves' insolence, Archaon and the Slaves to Darkness battle tactic is desecrate their lands. Archaon and Morathi both fail heroic leadership. Archaon uses the Dark Prophecy, then targets the Bloodstalkers with Will of the Everchosen. Onto magic, Archaon casts Arcane Bolt, then Mystic Shield on the Varangard. Attempting to charge, the Varangard roll Snake Eyes, but succeed with Forward to Victory. Archaon stomps, dealing 1 mortal wound to Morathi. The Chaos Lord uses Spurred by the Gods on Archaon, but the Varangard fights first and deals 7 damage to the Khaine. The Blood Sisters fight next, dealing 6 damage to the Varangard. Archaon attacks the Bloodstalkers, dealing a crippling 20 damage. Morathi Khaine fights Archaon, dealing a respectable 5 damage to him. The lone Varangard activates again, dealing 5 damage to the Bloodstalkers, and Archaon gets 2 more wounds on Morathi with his second activation. The Bloodstalkers use Inspiring Presence, the Khaine use the Indomitable Triumph, and 1 Blood Sister flees to Battle Shock. With Archaon ready to win this battle by himself, the Slaves to Darkness hold 1 objective and complete their battle tactic for 3 points.
All right, so back from Slaves to Darkness turn. A lot of small things, a lot of combat pile-in interaction.
This is like a lot of the minutia of Warhammer, the important things.
Movement, things like that. Like
charges, pile-ins,
because
tagging.
You were so close here with all the bats, I couldn't, or the Khaine, I couldn't I originally wanted to move him out, thinking you would be able to move, but not block up my lane, so my Vanguard would be able to charge. Had you blocked me up, I could move the Vanguard, but you could have probably redeployed into a way where I couldn't move my Vanguard and block these snakes from getting the second activation. So I ended up not moving anything. I got off an Arcane Bolt, and I got off a Mystic Shield. The Arcane Bolt we will come back to very shortly. And hopefully I killed 10 bows, did the reroll once to hit wound on them, and then just put like absolutely everything in there, and then thinking obviously I'm gonna do the second activation, I'm gonna kill them.
But as it was coming into the combat phase, as we talked about the minutia, you realized you're not gonna get the second activation into them.
No.
With pulling models and blocking you with little Marathi.
And I didn't think I was gonna be able to do 30 wounds, which Arcan, I think that was pretty good for what he did.
That was quite good. 24,
and then you made 4 6s. So I did activate here first, which I was hoping to completely take them down. But you're 5-up save, so you know, made some saves.
I only made 1 save, but it's just the ward, you know, blunting a couple.
And I put through 5 of the, you know, whatever. Either way, it was about average what happened there. So you had 3 left, and then the second pile, I killed a couple, and then you were in the predicament where, thank God you have the
it's so important.
Indomitable Triumph, which you've said a million times, and Jordan always runs, so it's so good here. You were able to Inspiring Presence and
Inspiring, obviously the bow snakes, using Indomitable on the Canary. Rolling the combat snake, because it was 50-50.
You're -2 from Archaon, so it was
exactly. So on a 3 or less, I lose no models. I rolled a 4, so I just lost 1, leaving 1 left.
So the problem with now is you still have so many models on the board. And the other problem is, we all know that I chose to do Dark Prophecy here because you had top of turn. You had a better chance if we did priority, because you would win ties. So, and I obviously wanted to just know who was going
so you
next.
can plan for it.
So it was that, again, fun game where it's like you are thinking if I got the turn. So I rolled the 2, which I think about halfway through you kind of, or not even probably.
It was early because Ridge was thinking hard, whereas if you know you're getting the turn, you're like, okay, I can clear this, and then I don't have to worry about, you know, getting
If I knew I was going right here, like, yes, I would be much different, because I would know she's dead. But somebody cast an Arcane Bolt and has kept it.
And you're still within 3, obviously, of Little Marathi.
Yes, for the start of Jordan's hero
phase. We know now we're going into top of round 3.
Yes.
Daughters of Khaine.
I rolled a 2, a 1 or 2, I think, so Jordan is going to get the turn. And I'm going to roll a 5 right now, as I always do, and then going to kill Marathi.
Let's see it. That's a 4. Marathi lives.
Oh, you got your 6s anyways, too. I forgot about that.
It would have been spicy, though. It would have been extra drama, but Ridge.
2 mortals to her.
2 mortal wounds, and Marathi survives on 1. Look at that. And we will go into Daughters of Khaine, turn 3.
Boo.
Suffering heavy losses, the Daughters of Khaine battle tactic is Hatred of Chaos. The Slaves to Darkness activate the bottom objective. Marathi uses Heroic Leadership, and Archaon uses their Finest Hour. Marathi fails to cast both Mind Razor and Steed of Shadows. The Bloodstalkers use Worship through Bloodshed, dealing just 1 damage to the Vanguard. The Chaos Lords redeploy, moving 5 inches. The Shadow Queen's Gaze misses again, but the Bloodstalkers use All-Out Attack and deal 5 damage to the Chaos Lord. The Iron Scale uses All-Out Attack, but fails to deal the last wound to the Vanguard. The Vanguard then kills the Lone Blood Sister and also weathers the Canary's attack. Failing to capitalize on their initiative, the Daughters of Khaine hold 2 and more objectives, but fail their battle tactic, scoring only 3 points.
Daughters of Khaine, turn 3. Ridge is giving me the priorities, but I'm not doing much with them. I went for a cheeky battle tactic in Hatred of Chaos.
To kill
2 Chaos units.
Yeah.
Made a big redeploy. Wasn't actually too sad about that because you put me in bow snake range.
Yep.
But didn't get got 5 damage through, didn't kill him there. And Marathi missed.
Which is
and then the big thing, actually, I forgot to shoot the Iron Scale.
Who could have done
finish it off, or one wound to make it more likely. Still, in the end, though, regardless of what I shot at, it doesn't matter. I didn't kill both units, so. Yeah.
It was the one though, was the big one, because you could have also done gaining momentum in a rear.
Well, it wouldn't matter. I would have failed gaining momentum
with him,
too
because of that one. It was more the mortal wound. I just hadn't said on camera, because after they activate on a 2-up, they do a mortal wound, which would have killed that
Iron Scale. Yeah, exactly. You made all the saves, did all the defense. You're super tanky, so no surprise there. But the 2-up mortal was the hope of doing it. Didn't get it. I pulled Little Marathi out, left the Shadow Queen over there. I did hold 2, hold more. Oh, one thing I forgot, I did fight with Khaine. I just got the 4-up run, fail it. So I don't get the 6-inch retreat move. So yeah, it's
wicked dicey.
It's tough, but I also forgot to move my bow snakes, which I just should have pushed a little further.
Got them kind of out of the way, yeah.
But I tried to spread out. Didn't charge in the Shadow Queen for that reason.
Yeah.
Don't want to give you everything all in one go.
Yeah.
But that, again, honestly, not capitalizing really on turn 2 or 3 with the prios.
Just not taking out.
You gotta do enough work. And yeah, it's just spelling trouble that I haven't.
Well, it was just the activation here. Like that was just the biggest thing. Like,
yeah, for sure.
That 2-up, like.
But even like the snakes did 1 mortal wound, not what you hope for, right?
Yep.
In both shooting phases, like couldn't do the 2 wounds in the hero phase to the Vanguard. I did decent there.
You did,
but,
yeah. 5 damage to him was decent, but still. No, I know, it's just literally, it's dicey. Like, it's literally that, and it came down to rolling the 1.
That's it. Let's go into Slaves of the Darkness, turn 3.
Yes!
Tightening their grips on the elven forces, the Slaves to Darkness battle tactic is gaining momentum. Archaon uses the Dark Prophecy and targets the Bloodstalkers with Will of the Everchosen. Dogar's Filth Spewer deals the final wounds to Marathi, and the goddess is slain. Archaon heroically recovers 2 wounds, and the Iron Scale uses their finest hour. The Bloodstalkers rally, returning 1 model. Archaon fails to cast Call to Glory, then casts Arcane Bolt. Archaon stomps the Bloodstalkers, dealing 1 mortal wound, and the Chaos Lord uses Spurred by the Gods on himself. The Vanguard fights first, killing 2 Khaine, but the last one fights back and takes him down. Archaon attacks and finishes off the Bloodstalkers, and then the Chaos Lord kills the last Khaine. Despite devastating the enemy's forces, the Slaves to Darkness hold just 1 objective and fail their battle tactic to score only 1 point.
All right, so back from Slaves, turn 3. We have, I think, finished it out.
Sealed the deal.
Yes.
Mostly because Ridge rolling the foresight dice, whatever, to know the turn.
We know that I'm going to get the next turn, so I finally rolled the 4-up. I rolled a 5 on the Dark Prophecy, so turn 4, I will get to go first, so I'll have the turn here.
I just have the Iron Scale left, so you're going to get to go in.
But it's so huge, just even knowing that, so then now this turn is so much easier. Because I'm like, okay, no matter what, I go next, so I can know I just deal with the bow snakes, then I can come deal with this after. Had I not got that turn, then maybe I would have wanted to play more on the 2 objectives. And then not maybe went over and dealt with the bow snakes, and then
get the points now in fear of me storing a couple more on before your next turn.
With a big rally or something, you get back to 8-9 bow snake, you know. So so essentially that is just such a strong mechanic.
What a hero that lone Khaine finishing off the Vanguard though.
He finished off the Vanguard that
keeping
no one
that home
could.
Objective.
Yes.
And the battle tactic.
Yes, because I only had 2 on this one, so I only scored 1, I think, of this turn.
Yeah, just for holding this point.
For holding that one, Which at this point doesn't matter because Archaon is just a boss. So, and then I think, so turn 4, I come in here, I kill him for eye for an eye. So because I actually lost the Vanguard in my turn, it's the previous turn, not battle round.
Yes, sir.
So then I can do eye for an eye and kill him with Archaon and him. And then turn 5, I just auto run 6 and put barge.
Barge through enemy lines. Yeah. So and then if you do that, I'll just score this for 2 turns.
Score your 1. Yeah, because I wouldn't even go over there.
And what was your grand strategy?
Was take what's theirs.
Okay, so you'll store that, and I'll get mine of fighting or dying with every unit.
Yeah.
All of them fought, all of them died.
Classic Doc.
Look at that. Yeah. But it was a good match here, good scrap.
Yeah.
We are talking, we've mentioned it in the recaps and whatnot, but how important is it to play with good terrain?
Yes, massively important. That could be the biggest takeaway.
Only a 5-inch piece in the middle, so not a huge footprint.
No.
But it's line of sight blocking because it's tall.
Yes.
That hugely.
I was able to keep my Chaos Lord behind it. Those 3 Varangard.
The 6 Varangard.
The 6 other 3 were behind them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the bow snakes are so good. It's like you need, without pieces like this, they can just ping everything off.
Yep. And so that's a huge takeaway or a huge thing to point out.
Yeah.
Whether you're playing at home or
your
at an
TO
event.
at events.
Exactly.
Terrain is
and
so
even
important.
here, putting buildings centrally, right? So even these, there's always going to be ways to try to block sight lines with some bigger pieces towards the middle, right?
Yes, yeah.
Having one just in your home objective isn't great because then you just have to castle behind it, or as soon as you walk out, which is what you have to do, you're exposed.
Yeah, unless you can
but
teleport.
Pieces central is important.
For sure, and without that, I think this game wouldn't even have been a game. So yeah,
it would have had the potential to be more one-sided.
Well, you would just kill my hammers. So that's
shoot the Varangard rather than the sorcerer.
The mortal wounds just rip them apart.
Yeah.
So there was a couple, small little things that happened that were
but huge point of also not only is terrain important, but knowing how to use it.
Yeah.
That's a huge point. You did it extremely well. Masterclass of you have heroes that are important.
Yeah.
You have one big hammer, but 2 smaller ones in terms of their footprint or their in their scale in general.
Yeah.
But keeping them alive is important, and using that building the way you did, really.
Yeah, I'm used to hiding.
Was the game-changing kind of.
I'm used to hiding skink priests and star priests behind temples in other.
That's a little easier because you put the temple wherever you want in your zone.
And they're tiny.
Yeah, but this is so good highlights of how you can effectively use terrain to your advantage.
Yeah, there was a lot that even talking about the beginning. It was I knew that you were gonna get the double, and it was if I don't go in there, I'm just gonna sit back. You're gonna shoot off my pieces, right? Or you're just gonna move into places. So I still threw Archeon in, knowing that you know what I mean. And just
he's such a resilient piece.
Juice him up.
He did the Eye of Sheeran.
Yeah, and just juice him up, throw him in.
Yeah, I mean, kill those 10 combat snakes right off the top, right?
Yeah, yeah. He did some work even here to kill the 10, did 24 damage,
And that is one trade-off that I had in this list was I almost went 3 5s actually with the combat snakes, which might have been a better choice, just so I'm not taking the casualties, because the 10 are great, but they're such a glass hammer, right?
Yeah.
In Doc, and 5 can do a lot of work, especially with the buffs.
Yeah.
Where you 10 could be overkill in a lot of situations.
Yeah, Doc is still so good. It's just this is one of the matchups where it's not matchup, but one of the games where it's just immediately smashing each other. I don't know about the 10 combat.
The Khaine, I was. I actually hadn't played them since the new book, where they actually got worse.
Yeah.
I think they lost their rend or damage on the charge.
An extra rend, or something.
Yeah, on the charge.
So
and
with
then
Mind Razor, they were
with Mind Razor, they were insane. But here, it's couple one rend, 1 damage attacks just isn't enough.
Yeah, a few times you're no point to go in.
Good for being quick in that, but when you have the shooting Khaine that just dropped down, could have taken that objective anyways.
Yeah.
Running the snakes on there for density odds.
Everyone does it for the tactic, which we talked about quickly, and it's in a lot of scenarios.
You know what? Do
you need that extra tactic? I know it's great to be able to just get that free, easy tactic.
You don't have to, no.
Does it give an extra point, or is that the...
No, that's the other one.
That's the kill with the bishops.
But I think that's pretty much it. Good game here. Hope you guys enjoyed that match. Again, don't forget to check out the membership if you enjoy our content. Want to see more? No matter what, we appreciate you guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this again, and we'll see you soon in another battle report.
Have a good week, everyone.